welcome to a subscriber suggested tutorial. This is a little out of my element, as I normally do gameplay tutorials on Minecraft, but this is going to be how to make a YouTube thumbnail. I am no way an expert at GIMP or Photoshop or anything of the sort, so I may not do things the way you would recommend. If you are an expert at this or have even some kind of remote training, but I get things done. Things look alright when I'm done. So, um, so let's get started here. This is my Minecraft template that you've seen several times if you watch my YouTube show or YouTube episodes anyway. It is not the proper size for a YouTube thumbnail. I didn't do any research on how to make a YouTube thumbnail properly until this video. So the size of my actual thumbnails are 1376 by 883 pixels. Apparently, to make a proper one, like an HD one anyway, the size is 1280 by 720. You can go to 1080, but it's much easier to shoot the 2 megabit limit of a thumbnail at that size. So they recommend going no bigger than this for an HD thumbnail. And we're going to be using this size today to see how that actually turns out. I may resize these at a later date. I don't know. When you upload them to YouTube, they'll automatically resize if need be. So let's take a look at my template here, how it's set up. I have the very bottom layer being the screenshot that I take during that episode, usually at the end. I have a drop shadow for what I call the swoop, which is the blue part here. We also have the blue part, and then we have episode and drop shadow in one. Then we have the drop shadow and the number of the episode. And I made this template because all I gotta do is get rid of this and the drop shadow for the episode, change the episode number, re-drop shadow it, and then throw in a new thumbnail, and we're done. And everyone knows when they see this blue strip that it's a main Attack of the B Team Let's Play episode. I try to color code all my episodes: red for the Crafting Dead, and orange for my Did You Master Try series, and purple is now, or pinkish purple, is now the color for my tutorials. Makes a little visual cue for the viewers so that they know if they want to watch it or not right off the bat. So let's get started here. How I made the swoop was pretty difficult. It's not super difficult, but it's a little, I know it's wrong. I know it's not the proper way of making a swoop. I used the ellipse tool, and I'm already starting wrong. I need to make a new layer here. We're going to call it swoop. Plump. Make sure we're on that layer. And we're just going to stretch that bad boy out. Stretch. This is why I say it's not the proper way, because it's obviously not going to work. So let's go ahead and move it so we can stretch more. Move it back into place. And we just do that until it looks proper, or until I like it anyway. Stretch that out more. Oops. Oh, that's a good enough swoop. Actually, no, it's not. Let's undo that. Hey, do what I say. Okay, well, we'll draw another ellipse then. Let's keep that closer there. There we go. Let's bring this further out. There, that's the swoop I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click, and you see how we have all of this selected, but that's not the swoop. That's where the thumbnail's gonna be, or the actual image. So we're going to select and invert, and that will select the bottom portion here. Then we're gonna go ahead, make our swoop layer, since I accidentally deleted it, and we're gonna pick a color, and I'm just gonna blotch down black. So now we've got our image, which is this white black background, which we'll be getting rid of. Then we have our swoop. I don't actually want the swoop to be black, so let's actually pick an actual color. Let's make a teal swoop. And we're gonna texture this so that it looks pretty good. You can't really tell on my thumbnails, but I add it just because it's a little bit better quality in my opinion. As you can see on this one, how it has like a little brick pattern in the background. It's almost impossible to see on the actual thumbnail itself, but I'll go ahead and turn down the opacity of this so we can see the blue color through it. I also turned up the brush size, and I selected the stamp. I guess it's called the clone tool. I call it the stamp. We go down to pattern. Let's just pick a quick pattern here. See how that one looks. See, that one looks awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and undo that so we can get an even gradient in one click. Come on. Go all the way to the end. There we go. So it looks really nice already. So now we're going to go and select this layer. Then we're going to go to filters, light and shadow, drop shadow. It pops down here. And we're going to uncheck allow resizing, because sometimes it'll screw things up. I usually get it around 30 for the blur radius and 80 for opacity. Click that, and boom, there we got our drop shadow. And it should be below the swoop. So there's our drop shadow right there. Oh, that's an issue. Let's go ahead and delete our drop shadow. And before we make the drop shadow, see, not the best at this, we're going to go select none. We don't want that to be selected anymore. But it's pretty easy to do it again. You just reshow or shift control F. Everything's the same. Boom. Now if we actually look at the drop shadow, there it is. Boom, 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 done. We're almost done here. We're going to we don't even need to create a new layer. We're just going to do this, which is the text tool. And we don't want our text to be teal. We want it to be white. We're going to do size 100, and I'm going to select my 8-bit font here. Episode. That's obviously way too big, so we're going to size that down. Let's do 75. Still too big. Let's do 50. That seems about right. Grab our move tool here. There we go. And move it into position. Usually about like right there is where I have it. And then we're going to select that layer. We're going to do filters. Control F will just automatically do the last filter you used. So it automatically put our drop shadow on. This is never going to change since it's a template. It's just always going to say episode, and then it's going to have the drop shadow for it. So what I do is I right click on episode and I merge it down. So drop shadow and the episode are one. And then we'll just edit the layer attributes, and we'll name this episode. So we got episode, swoop, and drop shadow. And the drop shadow for the swoop will never change either, so you can merge that down too. And name this swoop. Just to keep everything nice and tidy. Now we'll click on episode again, and we'll go back and do another thing here. We definitely don't want it to be at 100. This is more going to be like, maybe we can do 50. And say we're just doing something. Oh, don't do that to me. I think it's because I just merged the drop shadow. Okie dokie. Hold on. Let's back up a few steps here. There. Just making sure this thing's not being stupid and allowing me to do stuff. Oh, come on. Told you, not the best of this. Select. There is nothing selected. Okay, let's shrink this down here. I want to keep it nice and, oops, nice and tidy. Let's change this to 50. There. Alright, we're just going to make this episode 1 for whatever we're doing. Once again, make this nice and tidy. Oops. Click on the number. Move it into position. You could probably make the number bigger so people can actually see it. And then when you're ready to, you just do your drop shadow on it. Boom. And we're going to go ahead and merge these down like I had before. Merge down, merge down. Edit this. This is going to be swoop. And then this one's going to be episode. Done and done. And that's it. Now all you need to do is get rid of this background. Boom. And then either save it that way and save it as template, or you can go ahead and get a screenshot. Let's open my screenshots here. And let's just throw in the one from last episode. Just toss it right there. And boom. Done. That is how I make my, and then you just file save, and that'll save it as a GIMP file, and then you export as, and you want to export it as whatever, as a .png. And then once that's done, it is going to be a thumbnail. So that's how I make my thumbnails for the Minecraft episodes and all my episodes. If you like this, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe button. If you have any more suggestions for tutorials that you want me to see, or want me to do for you guys, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will definitely consider it. I always like helping you guys out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.